All right, hello and welcome. My name is Garrett Carden. I'm going to be giving a presentation today about pursuing a career as a clinical psychologist. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, to describe what this career really is a subfield of the psychological discipline that handles mental and emotional health of the human population as a whole. The professionals who work in this field need to be using skills such as analytical and communication skills to help their clients relatively improve their quality of life and work through issues. This is something that requires good work ethic and the capacity to show empathy to each client and guide interpersonal discussion to help them not only solve the problems that they've come to you as a professional for, but also the problems that they haven't identified, any concerns they may have about their circumstances and current situations. Obviously, it still would include individual psychological research studies to try and benefit people with knowledge and understanding of what makes us tick, how we react to things, and all those mental processes. The required education, this is pretty straightforward. It's quite a long process, as you can see. You're going to need to follow these steps. We're at where we are currently, trying to complete a bachelor's degree in psychology. This is going to include all of the required classes. These are pretty set. We don't have too much say in what's needed during this point, so it'll normally take about 4 years. And from there, you move into a master's degree in psychology. This is a really critical time. Obviously, GPA is going to be extremely important due to how competitive this field can really be. In following your master's degree, which normally takes about 3 years, there's an average of about 3 years more in to get your doctorate's degree. There are two options there. The first one, when you see the PhD, is still quite the feat. You get a lot of recognition for it, but to be a clinical psychologist, you're going to need the latter of the two to really get the licensure and attention that would benefit you pursuing this career. This is something I found interesting. The postdoctoral clinical training is something that's not necessarily required, but it is going to help you get the hours necessary to achieve receiving your licensure and taking those forward steps, getting your name out there. And obviously, to receive this license, you're going to need to talk with a panel of professionals and be approved and stay on that approval level to be able to continue practicing. Let's relate this now to the 4-year plan that we talked about in prior weeks. So I have here just highlighted some of the actions that I had put, not necessarily the classes, but starting immediately, speaking with professors about their majors and career paths is something that I've already found beneficial. For example, my general psych teacher majored in industrial psychology, and he's talked about how that's helped him with his current career path in management for a chain of grocery stores, and then of course teaching students here at the university. Then following that, in the later semesters, identifying possible internships to pursue to get experience hours and get your foot in the door. From there, speaking with these licensed professionals that you should be working with, properly utilizing the exposure of an internship to be able to get suggestions and figure out your direction. I'm choosing the 5th semester as my deadline to really have that internship locked down. And then from there, deciding, I put here in the 6th, deciding specific psychological field to pursue and setting my goals based on that decision. This is obviously just because I don't know. There's a lot of, I'm in my 1st semester, so there's a lot of variables that could come into play. And then immediately starting to organize that postgraduate study plan, location classes and opportunities, and then registering for those classes, making sure it happens. So it says personal picture. I don't really know if this is what it's referring to, but if not, there's a picture of me. So why am I studying psychology? I was interested in psychology before my mission. Started looking into it on my own. I realized with this basic study I was doing that in Latin, psychology can be interpreted or translated to study of the soul. That really stuck out to me. I realized that part of what makes our Heavenly Father what He is His ability and power to understand our thoughts and behaviors, reactions and actions and feelings. So I think that studying in depth these processes in our moral life is maybe a great way to take a step towards becoming more like our Father in heaven. So that's how I was sold into the idea. And then comparing that to the chapter 13 discussion that we had, really, what I list here isn't something that you would find very orthodox in explaining to a professional as to why I'm studying psychology. But the gist of it is I have a very strong interest in that subject matter. And as you can see, I have intentions to become a professional psychologist and pursue that. So really the key for me is just going to be keeping that vision of what future success is going to look like close in mind and always being ready to adjust those goals to meet those needs. So there's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it and that I can get some feedback from you guys. Good luck to all of you and have a great night.